Verse 18, this begins an interesting story of Abram meeting the king of Salem, K. Melchizedek, Vasilef Salim, Axenenken Artus, K. Enon, and Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought forth bread loaves and Enon, wine, vino is a derivative. Melchizedek, king of Salem, Jebus was a city where Jerusalem is, and Salem was another name for this area, this city. And this Melchizedek is a person who comes out, and he says it's the king, and he brought bread and wine from when Abram is coming back down in towards Sodom and Gomorrah. And it says, in the Earefs, to Theu, to Ipsistu. He was a priest, Earefs, hieroglyphic, the hiero, Earef, Era is the priestly writing, hieroglyphic, of Theu, theology of God. The Ipsistu, Ips, we have English derivative, up. And he was priest of God. It doesn't say the priest or a priest, but just he was priest of God. We see this mentioned in Psalms 110:4. It says, Omose, Kyrios, ke metamelithesate, si Earefs iston Iona, kata tin taxin, Melchizedek. And he's talking about up here, and the Lord said to my Lord, sit down at my right hand until I make your enemies a footstool, the Messiah, and all these things. And he continues, and you are a priest unto the eon, according to the order of Melchizedek. Jesus was a priest under the order of Melchizedek. And it continues in Hebrews 5:6, as also in another place he says, you are a priest unto the eon according to the order of Melchizedek, about Jesus. So when we get into Hebrews, we'll be going through more of the tie-in of Jesus to Melchizedek. But back here, Melchizedek, it continues, Ke evlogis se avton, and he blessed him. That is, Melchizedek blessed Abram. Ke ipen, and said, evlogi menos, Avram, to Theo, to ipsisto, Abraham, a blessing to God in the highest. Os ektase ton uranon ke tigin, who created the heaven and the earth. So Melchizedek is saying how Abram is a blessing and who the creator was. Uranon, the heaven, Uranus, the planet is a derivative, and Gene, geology. And the next priesthood that we go into is the Levitical priesthood. In chapter 28:1, it goes into that, and you lead forward to yourself both Aaron and your brother and his sons from out of the sons of Israel to officiate as priest, Erev Tevin, as a verb, to me, Aaron and Nadab, and they're the Levitical priesthood. Then the next priesthood is in Ezekiel 40:45 and 46, where it says, and he said to me, this inner chamber, the one looking towards the south, is to the priests. And this is in the future. It hasn't happened yet. It didn't happen any time between when it was written and today. To the ones keeping the guard of the house. And the inner chamber, the one looking towards the north, is to the priests. To the ones keeping the guard of the altar. Those are the sons of Zadok, the ones approaching of the sons of Levi towards the Lord to officiate to him. So they are Levitical, but it's a Zadokian priesthood. And we'll be going more into this Zadokian priesthood when we get into the last 10 chapters of the book of Ezekiel. The next priesthood that is mentioned is the priesthood in Revelations 1:6, and made us a kingdom, priests to God and to the Father of him. To him be the glory and the might he made us a kingdom. And then in 5:9, Revelations 5:9, it continues, by your blood, from out of every tribe and tongue and people and nation. So all these people, not just the Leviticals, not just Jews. And you made them kings and priests, the same as Melchizedek, to our God, and they reign upon the earth. So there is going to be this future priesthood of all the peoples from all over. And in verse 26, it gives a little bit more information on these people. It says, "Blessed and holy is the one having part in the first resurrection. Over these things, the second death has no authority, but they will be priests of God and of the Christ, and shall reign with him 1,000 years." So this priesthood is going to be going on for a long time. The priesthood and the Levitical priesthood went into the New Testament. Of course, there are still priests today. There are priests of the Eastern Orthodox Church, the Roman Catholic Church, and there are also priests in all types of religions. The priests were people that were between man and God. A mediator is a little bit different. I know a lot of you are thinking, well, there's only one mediator between God and man, and a mesitis is a mediator. We'll be going to that in another place. But the priesthood, it's an interesting thing to study. And so it continues then in verse 420, evlogitos, o theos, o hypsistos, os paredoke tus ekthrousu, ipohirius si. And blessed be God the highest, who delivered up your enemies under your hands to you. Ke edoken afto Avram dakatin apo panton, and Abraham gave to him a tenth. I don't use the word tithe. I don't like tithe because you lose them. It's an amount. It's a tenth from all. In 421, ipe they vasilefs Sodomon pros Avram, and this said the king of Sodom to Abram, dos me tus andres tin they ipon lave siav to. Give to me the men, but the cavalry you take to yourself. Verse 22, Ke Avram, ipe they Avram, and Abram said, pros ton vasileia Sodomon, to the king of Sodom, ek teno tin hira mu, pros Kyrion ton theon, ton ipsiston, I will stretch out my hand to the Lord God the highest, os ektise ton uranon ke tigin, who created the heaven and the earth. I apo spartiu eos spherotiros, ipodhimatos lipsome apo panton ton son, that I will not take to myself from the string unto the knob of the shoe of all your things. Ina mi ipis oti ego eplutisas ton Avram, that you should not have said that I enriched Abram. Plin on ephagon I nianiski ke tin meridos ton andron, except what the young men ate, and the portion of the men. Ton simporev thenton metamu, the ones going with me. Eskol aner mamvri. Eskol aner and mamri. Uti lipsonte merida. These will take a portion for themselves. In verse 15, God communicates with Abram and gives him the blessings, and it'll be an interesting chapter. Hope you will join us, and God bless.